Hey, hi, it's me. I'm back. I'm really excited today. It's Thursday. Tonight's first night of performance at the high school. I'll be heading over in a couple hours with my costume. I'm just happy. So happy. Okay. But you know what really jazzed me up today is I was doing some research and I looked up some old songs and history and fashion and housing and all that stuff from the 60s just to kind of pull some more memories before I finish up with Garfield because I lived there until late 68. Actually, I think like Christmas week 68 we moved. All right, so let's see. Fashion. Oh, God in heaven. So the 60s, when you're a little kid, you kind of start looking up to your older cousins and seeing what kind of outfits they have. And you see on TV the different shows that are happening and in the news what people are wearing. And one of the things I remember really, really definitively were go-go boots. I know there's somebody out in that crowd out there watching this that remembers go-go boots and how important it was to have a pair. Like, it was amazing. So you could either get them like calf length or all the way up to the knees. And they were usually white leather boots, or they had something called pleather. All right, as if it was plastic leather. But they were cool because they were really tight and they you had to pull them up your legs like you would pull up socks or stockings or something. And I do remember that finally, after begging and pleading, my gram took me to New York and got a pair. And man, I'm going to tell you what, I was styling. I remember go-go boots. And there was a song that came out. That's why I wanted to kind of do a little history background. Nancy Sinatra, Frank Sinatra's daughter, came out with a boot song called "These Boots Are Made for Walking." Right around the time those boots came out, and the boot song was basically "These boots are made for walking, and that's just what they'll do. One of these days, these boots are gonna walk all over you." I know I warned you guys, I cannot sing, but that song stuck in my head when I was walking around strutting like I was all that with them little boots on that I begged. I pulled my Shirley Temple brat act. I want them boots. Okay, and then what did we have? This is when I'm starting to emerge from that 7th grade, 8th grade thing where Mr. Camfrio's treating us like ladies and demanding that boys act like gentlemen. And I started to really pay attention to fashion. Let's see. We had the go-go boots, and then everything was based on fashion in London at the time. And I don't know if that's because of the Beatles' influence, which we'll talk more about the music in a minute. But used to be, I guess, in my grandmother's time that Paris, France was all it for the fashion. But then all of a sudden it was London. And there was a supermodel. I guess you could maybe say she was the first supermodel, and her name was Twiggy. And what she was famous for was these big eyes with these painted lashes. And darling cute, totally skinny, never I could be that. But she wore the cutest dresses, and of course, Twiggy had go-go boots. And that affected me. I don't know. That was the age where you paid attention to fashion. What else about that? Oh, of course, mini skirts. And the guys came up later in the 60s with a fashion Nehru collar where it was, and a lot of the superstar movie guys did the collars. It was kind of up here and buttoned. It was like a India kind of feeling to it. And they had to have peace beads. Okay, let's see what else. There was an outfit that I had to have, and they were coming out with like deep fuchsia pink and lime green outfits, and checkers and plaids and polka dots. It was like pow, lime green, and I did have an outfit like that, and we might have got it at Alexander's on Route 17. Not sure where that one came from. Later on, in the later 60s, came out with the headbands and the real like hippie look, and tie-dye shirts. I had one of them. Paisley sweaters, poor boy shirts with mini skirts, and you had to have a big fat belt right in the middle, like a cool looking pleather belt. I wore the same clothes over and over again. Then we had this thing where it came in with, like, had to have a bubble sleeve. And that was your, like, more elegant look. Oh, please don't stop me from talking about the bell-bottom jeans. Now, you didn't wear these with go-go boots. You wore them with moccasins, bell-bottom jeans. And the bigger the bell, the better. And the more they slopped on the bottom of the floor and got ragged, the better it was. And then you had to have a poncho. I never had a poncho. I begged for bell-bottoms, but I didn't get them because they were hip huggers. And my mom said, But you had to have a belt on the... And I eventually did get bell-bottoms. And they rode right beneath your belly button. There was no joking. You had to tuck the shirt in or you paid the price. You know, bam! And you had to have love beads. Love beads. Because I'm so cool. All right. So that's some of the fashion. And the next one will be some of the history that went on. Okay, 6 minutes. I'm a little over, but I'm trying to keep it at 5. Bad baby today.